And that's why I wanted to speak to you today about the new world taking shape around us, about the prospects for a new world order now within our reach.
We stand on the brink of Armageddon, diseases for which we have no cure. Fundamentalist states who call for our destruction, nuclear powers over which we have no control. And even if we navigate these dangerous waters, we face other, even more inevitable threats. Global warming will melt the polar ice caps within 80 years, flooding 90% of all habitable areas on Earth. Unchecked population growth will overtake food production in less than 50 years, leading to famine and war. This is not conjecture. This is fact. One way or another, our world is coming to an end. Now the question is, will we end with it?
What do you propose?
I propose that we end the world, but on our terms. An orchestrated apocalypse. One that will cleanse the Earth of its population but leave its infrastructure and resources intact. It's been done once before, with great success. The chosen few will ride out the storm, not in an ark as in the book of Genesis, but in safety, underground. And when it's over, we will emerge onto a cleansed Earth, one that we can then reboot in our image.
And just how do you intend to achieve this?
The means of our salvation are already at hand. I give to you.
I want to talk about the New World Order. Before I get on this live, I want to say this is why everybody needs to be putting God first. Because their interview from George W. Bush was from years and years ago. And that should tell you right there, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on right now. As you look around, this is why so much stuff is being pushed out. So much agendas are being pushed out. Because this stuff is planted. You look at the pyramid, I want to put it like this. You know, at the bottom, you have all of us, basically the work of ants of the world. Then after that, you have the educational system, the entertainment industry, and the religious dogma. Then after that, you have the corporate and the government-owned news medias. Then you have the government-funded scientists, the food, drugs, and healthcare industries. Then after that, you have the EU, the UN, the presidents, and the prime ministers. Then you had the top military intelligence agencies. Then you had the top level advisors and politicians. And then after that, ladies and gentlemen, you had the global companies and the big Wall Street investors. And then after that, you had the banking, the religious, the secret societies, and the royal elite. And all the way at the top, ladies and gentlemen, you had the NWO, the New World Order agenda. This is why I tell people, the stuff that's going on right now in this world is happening because this is all biblical prophecy. This is why right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's best for you all to walk in the spirit, to not walk in the flesh, to not be carnally minded, because to be carnally minded is to be dead inside. To be dead inside, to be, you not walking in truth, walking in the spirit. And this is why I tell people, this stuff is being done to basically have us all, trapped in this stuff. But what I want to say is this, ladies and gentlemen, all of this stuff is starting because, again, this is Satan's kingdom. And this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, the order of the Illuminati, Satan's chosen. It can be, also known as the family, the order of organizations, the chosen ones, the enlightened ones. But we have to realize, ladies and gentlemen, this is an invisible, war. This is an ancient secret society which recruits members everywhere. Preachers, governments, Hollywood actors. They recruit all of them. They control life for all. And that's why I say the occult, all of them are in this stuff. You know, that they have different bloodlines. And this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this stuff, when you look at all this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, that's going on, they have to put the truth out in order to, you know, put the truth out. You hide it in plain sight. And what's plain sight? Putting something in plain sight is putting it on TV for people to think it's not real and stuff. And, you know, you look at this stuff, ladies and gentlemen, it says that the organized plan of Illuminati begins in Genesis 11:1-9, if I'm saying it right. Genesis 11:1, when Nimrod wanted to be the one leader of all the people. So he had the people build a tower to try and reach into heaven, and he tried to defy God, but God came down and destroyed the tower, you know, with all of the people with him. And God caused their one language to become many languages. The Lord confounded the language so that the people could not understand each other. This is why it says in Genesis 11:7, go to, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. This is why I say when you look at the money, the New World Order, you know, was announced on our money, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why I say when you can even go all the way back, when Satan / Lucifer was at the time called a morning star, son of the dawn. And the scriptures about, you know, Lucifer is in Isaiah 14:12-15. You know, Isaiah 14:12 says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of morning? Art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? You see, ladies and gentlemen, and what I'm trying to say is this, that all this stuff is biblical. Lucifer wanted to be God. He wanted to sit on the throne. He wanted to rule. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to start digging in deep. Lucifer wanted to be God. He wanted to sit on the throne. He wanted to rule. That's the Illuminati. Again, it's like a pyramid. He wants to be at the top, and the New World Order is his way of basically trying to make his own kingdom like God. He wants to be God. This is why I say there are 13, you know, bloodlines of this organization. You got the Astor bloodline, the Collins bloodline, the DuPont bloodline, the Kennedy bloodline, the Lee bloodline, the Reynolds bloodline, the Rockefeller bloodline, the Russell bloodline, the Van Doon bloodline, the Rothschild bloodline, the Onassis bloodline, the Freeman bloodline, the Bundy bloodline. You see, ladies and gentlemen, these are the bloodlines. And this, when you look at this stuff, the Illuminati families, they have babies and give the babies for adoption with the purpose of the child having a different last name. Interconnected families, connected families, ladies and gentlemen. You got the McDonald family, the Vanderbilt family, the Krupp, the Disney family. And this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Satanism is clearly the most secret religion in the world. It's a priesthood that rules the world through, political leaders that they place in power. Again, Satan has strings over everybody. So he's using them as a puppet, ladies and gentlemen. And because of their power, they have the ability to suppress a great deal of the publicity that could arise from all of their activities that they're doing. This is why they're pushing out all of these agendas, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly why they're pushing out all of these agendas. To keep you all, under the trap. To keep the high level satanic people at the top, they use them. And it's like this, if you were like filthy rich, which a whole lot of people at the top, the King Illuminati people are, what kind of security could you afford? And what kind of money will you have with national governments and police forces to get even governments to provide security for you? This is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, these people own everything. They will kill or discredit anyone who exposes them. They also control the CIA and the FBI. That's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, but again, they can't touch an anointed one. I'm telling you, when you truly fear the Lord, we must be willing to die for Christ and live for Christ. Walk in the Spirit, walk by faith, not by sight. And this is why I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, all this stuff that's going on right now is happening for a reason. This is why I say in Matthew 24:14, it says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So who's going to preach the truth, ladies and gentlemen? Who's going to go out here and do the works of the Lord? Who's going to do it? We can't be afraid of these people. We cannot be afraid, ladies and gentlemen. Because again, you know, they're more afraid of us than we are of them. This is an invisible war with Satan. This is why you have all of the celebrities and stuff in this stuff, because, you know, the Illuminati are, we can call, you know, Satan's, I don't even like to call it the Illuminati. I like to call it the NWO, you know, Satan's, you know, connection. Basically, people that's in his New World Order, he's using them as a puppet. You know, basically Satan is controlling all of the music and entertainment industry. And this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, you know, you have all of these top people that's in the world with the Christian music and all of this, the phony personalities, all of this. It's all about making money, ladies and gentlemen, because again, you know, many of them have sold out to Satan. Because Satan is using these people to influence and control people's mind. Again, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, Satan works off of emotions. We have to be logical in these times. And that's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Satan is doing all of this. He's using people as puppets. And this is why we got to stay strong in these times. This is exactly why we got to stay strong in these times, ladies and gentlemen, because when you look at everything that's going on right now, you know, you have all of these Christians and stuff out here that are living in the world, you know, living carnally instead of, you know, walking in the Spirit. And you have these pastors out here, but they're fakes. Most of these pastors out here that are big out here right now, they're living fake. And what I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen, is that, you know, they're all, you know, acting like they're following the Lord, but they're really doing it for the money. You know, they're doing it for the money. Like, we like to believe these Christian, you know, musicians and entertainers. But the thing is, we know we were just full. Because many of them, you know, are, you know, friends with people in the dark. Most of them live secret lives that we don't know about because they go into dark rooms and stuff and shake hands and meet certain people. You know, the highest knowledge in society is held by the highest people in society, and these are people in the dark. That's why I say, you know, they're running the program. Because you got Christian musicians and stuff, you know, imitating the world, loving darkness, occult symbols, and all things evil. And, you know, we find the same black letter and chain, satanic Illuminati symbols showing up in music and bands that are supposed to be the salt and the light of the world. You know, where is their separation from the world, ladies and gentlemen? You know, these people who love the world and dark, death music seek fame and to sell Jesus for profit. Meaning, you know, they have never been genuinely saved. And when you look at Corinthians 6:17, it says, wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, says the Lord, and touch not the unclean things, and I will receive you. You see, many of them who know the Lord, they still gave over to, you know, the worldly perspective because they want to live in the world. They wanted to live in the world, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, we got to stop looking at all of this stuff that they're showing on TV. Because the thing is, back then, things were clean until everything started changing. And this is why I say television is filling the eyes and the minds of people with unholy filth. And it's like when you watch and support this filth coming out of the entertainment and news industries, you know, you cannot be a Christian or else. The person, you know, will wind up falling into that demonic stronghold. You can't watch this stuff and say you're following the Lord. This is why I say TV is an MK Ultra device to keep us all trapped and keep us all being deceived and, keeping us blinded from what's going on. You do not want to be accepted by the world, because anyone who wants to make a name for themselves and get a reward down here are trying to be accepted and make an impact through acceptance. It doesn't work, because when you go that way, the devil says, look, I want to help you. Let me get a piece of the action. Just let me get in there so that God doesn't get the glory. This is the high cost of mercy. And this is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, we have to be careful in these times. That's why I say when you look around, the churches, on the other hand, is not separating themselves from the unclean things at all. You got the church idolizing the world and wants to be like the world. Like the Bible says in Timothy 6:10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some converted after they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. And we see all of this going on. Money has become the guise of many in the church. The church keeps moving further and further away from Jesus in order to increase the fame, money, and popularity and power. You literally have these pastors out here preaching Satan's doctrine. Lies with a little bit of truth, saying, God's going to give you this big money house. He's going to give you this house. He's going to give you this new spouse. It's not your fault. And it's like what it's doing is feeding our ego. And it's like when somebody's feeding your ego, you feel that pride at times. Because, again, the Illuminati is recruiting musicians, actors, politicians, preachers, all of them. The government controls churches, ladies and gentlemen. And the thing is, you do not want to sell your soul to Satan and later spend eternal in hell just to have fame and fortune right now. Is forever the hell worth selling your soul for? What are you giving in exchange for your soul? The government controls these churches, ladies and gentlemen. They control the churches. You have these organized religion and all this stuff, private versus public property. This is why I say they have witches and warlocks in the churches to making sure they, stay on task. This is why I say you do not want to be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to be fooled. This is why I say these, you don't want to fall for this. The devil will say, look, I want to help you, and he'll get you government money. And the thing is, you got people that will go ahead and take the government money, but you are going to wind up, as another charity with just an empty charity doing good work, but no power of the Holy Ghost to change your life. And this is why I say Satan doesn't care who he uses or abuses. You're just another, puppet for him. This is what these people fail to realize. Even these damn gang stalkers, Lord forgive me, they're foolish. That's why we don't accept any government money, ladies and gentlemen. We got to turn that down. If they offer $100 million, do not accept it, because the devil says, just let me get a piece of this action. Just let me get in there so that God doesn't get the glory. So, he can wind up destroying you. This is why I say the Illuminati has been offering mega churches government money as a way to control what is preached from the pulpit, ladies and gentlemen. And I keep telling y'all, literally, these are the times we need to stand tall right now and stop being afraid. Look what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. All this stuff going on right now, everybody wants to sit here and think it's all a joke. I literally told you, ladies and gentlemen, that these preachers out here, the big preachers in the world right now, this is Satan's kingdom. You really think Satan's going to allow these big preachers out here to just preach the truth? To really save people? No. This is why the Joe Osteens and the Billy Grahams and all these big pastors out here are so famous than every other pastor. Because, again, Satan is using them. He's giving them money as a way to control what is preached. Because if they preach, go off of the, the oath that they sign, because many of these preachers, they're, saying stuff that they're told to say. Because if they go off a subject and start talking about walking in the spirit and talking about the truth, about Illuminati and all the darkness that's going on in this world, it will start waking people up, and then that will go against Satan. And this is when he comes in. This is what I say, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff is not no joke. This is not no joke. You have preachers who are lining their pockets with your money so they can be rich and famous. And this is why I say church houses nowadays have become one of the most dangerous places to be. To enter the doors of a church house is at risk to you physically and to your spiritual life. Church buildings are like social clubs for parties, gospeling, and learning the occult and practices. This is why I say there's an issue with public versus private property. There's a bunch of, craziness because, again, the government is in control of all of this. You know, they're not going to put the truth out. They're not going to put the truth out, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I say we got to stand tall in these days. Because this is a sign in which our religion and government leaders are taking this new one world religion, taking another step forward for the devil to make, you know, his perverted ways accepted into society. This is why you see all of the wicked and nasty things going on. The one world church, the one world religion, the Roman Empire, the great whore, Mystery Babylon and the great harlot, the city that rules the world in the end time, the city that sits on 7 hills, the city that merges false religion with a false understanding of the economy and control, a city that thinks in the one sense that they're doing the world a favor, and ultimately what they're doing is bringing the world under the judgment of God. Revelations, the fall of Babylon. You know, that's why I say we're living in the last days, and it appears that this great whore is mainstream. A person does not have to be a churchgoer to see the whoredoms being committed within the so-called Christian community. You know, the profession Christian community is the Christian counterfeit. Archer, you know, basically the director, who is Satan, he's directing them, basically orchestrating them to be a counterfeit, Christian counterfeit. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the honey traps, honey pots. We got to be strong and watch out for these counterfeit Christians, followers, church people, counterfeits, imposers, Satan decoys, Satan's children. We on it today. We got to be strong. The one world church is the great whore, the scarlet woman riding on the beast of Revelation 17. As it says, and there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters. This is why all of this lust is going around right now. Jezebel, all of them are, you know, getting a piece of the pie. This religion system will dominate the world before the return of Jesus Christ. And you got witchcraft in the churches who are preparing the way for this religion system, you know, to come down. You know, that's why I say, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be careful. You have witches and warlocks who have been trained in how to properly portray a Christian. They have entered the churches even as preachers and many as false prophets to lead people deeper into occult practices. They fill people's minds with false dreams, false prophecies, false and distorted doctrines, which all lead people deeper into sin. And before I get on this, I know you witches and warlocks be looking at my channel. And I know exactly who's watching my channel that's a witch and a warlock. And that's why I say you cannot fool a child of God. You can't fool the eyes from within. I know this is why I say they can watch and stalk and mock us and lurk in the dark. Again, because they have eyes on us, ladies and gentlemen. But they know damn well not to touch one of us, anointed ones. And Lord, forgive me, they know for a fact. When you truly walk with the Lord and you fear him, you're willing to die for the Lord the same way you're willing to live for the Lord. Can't be afraid of these foolish, wicked, deceitful agents. That's why I say mainstream Christianity right now is bringing, it's basically setting up this world for the new world order. The world church teaches that all roads lead to God when the Bible clearly tells us that there is only one way. There's only one way, the narrow path. The narrow path, ladies and gentlemen. Luke 23:33, and when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, that they crucify him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. The only way we have acceptance before God is through Jesus, God's only son who came from heaven to live on earth. He understands our problems because he lived as a man on earth for 33 years. He did not sin, and yet he took upon sins himself and paid a penalty for sins by his death on the cross. This is why I say, ladies and gentlemen, we have to stay strong in these times. We got to stay strong in these times, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going on right now. The false church will be rarely, and global. It will be a loose federation of churches and religions forming some type of global association, a world parliament of churches. This is what's going on. This is exactly what's going on. It has, it's Judas in scarlet, and he will be the false prophet. Satan will recruit him from among our bishops. That's why I say we have to be careful. Acts 8:32 to 33. This place of the scriptures, which he read was, this. He was led as a sheep to the slaughter, and like a lamb dumb before his shears, so opened he not his mouth. In humiliation his judgment was taken away. And who shall declare his generation? For his life is taken from the earth. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. You see what's going on? You see all of this stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen? All of this stuff going on right now. And we want to act like everything is okay. Everything is not okay. Everything is not okay. Can y'all look around and see what's going on? There's no unity no more. The killings going on, inflation, rumors of war, all of the freaking nasty, lustful harlots and whoremongering and fornication going on. Children out of wedlock. All of this evil wickedness going on. And we want to sit here and act like, let's go get to the money. Let's go get rich. Let's go get all of this. Look what's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got to stand tall in these times. This video may have been short because I'm going to do another live, but I have a righteous anger on me right now. But I want to say you all stay prayed up and I love you all, and God has our back. Don't let these demons win. I love you all.
For the Lord had mercy on me and answered my prayers. Jesus, tender shepherd, hear me. Bless thy little lamb tonight. Through the darkness be thou near me. Watch my sleep till morning light.